Pecha Kucha 212, Inktober 2020, week 3. So it's been another week of using the same tools, just trying to keep consistency up. It's quite difficult for me to tell if that's happening or not. I think more or less it is. I feel like there have been ups and downs this week, but all things considered, I think it's probably been fine. So on Sunday, last Sunday, the word was trap. I had a lot of ideas for this. I decided to go with the famous line, "It's a trap," from Star Wars, Admiral Akbar. I don't know how to draw this guy. He's some kind of fish man. I've got reference images, but I don't really know what it is I'm looking at to render it appropriately, so I'm kind of just doing what I can and hiding as much of it as I can in shadow so it doesn't look so bad. I feel like the eyes might be the only bit that might be veering towards quality. The next word was dizzy. I decided to draw a picture of the Punisher falling into the floor, but the perspective is from his perspective. So the floor is actually, it looks more like it's the wall. So I've had to draw a doorway in the background to try and help represent this. It's a difficult image to read. It was a difficult image to draw. It probably doesn't work. This is it from the actual perspective of, the horizon line being flat. It was just easier for me to draw like this. This is a lot more work than I typically put into your average image. I don't do backgrounds, but the background is part of this. It helps it make it easier to read. This is probably one of the highlights of the week because I need to be pushing myself with these things to get better. I spent so little time on the Punisher's face, it's a miracle that it even registers as a face, which is in itself a victory and a defeat, because it's not like when I only focus on the face, it works. So the next word was coral, and I was like, how do I draw coral? I can't move away from the word and do something esoteric. And coral's boring, and also I'm drawing in black and white, so I can't make it colourful, which is kind of the point. So I ended up just getting some reference imagery to create a composite image, and then I was like, well, who can I put here who lives underwater, and then we'll try and make it about him, like that Kenshiro image I did last week. So I dropped Deep Sea Fish King in. There was a lot of detailed brushwork doing the background. I'm not sure if it really all merges together. Trying to make it look like it was underwater was its own challenge. I feel like the water bubbles from Deep Sea King's head are like the only thing that really help, along with the fish. But there's a lot going on here. It's not bad for the couple of hours I put in, but it's probably too much. And then the next word was sleep, and I was like, might be fun to draw someone who doesn't seem to be getting much. And then I thought of my good old buddy Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, who has gone from like kind of a joke character to the most important man in the Marvel universe from time to time. And I don't know if I saw an image of him looking in the mirror while the Green Goblin was... Yeah, I think it's from a cartoon or something, He's got mental health problems, and that's always made him very interesting on a lot of levels as a character. So I just love this idea of you looking over his shoulder as he's looking into his reflection and seeing the Green Goblin giving him quote-unquote advice. Almost certainly about killing Spider-Man. Yeah, I screwed up the Green Goblin's hand, but again, the background is part of the image. There's a lot going on here. I actually forgot to clean up Norman Osborn's hair on the right-hand side of the screen because there's just so much going on. And I don't want to invest the whole day on these. At least not this week, I didn't. So the next word was chef, and I thought, again, what am I going to do with this? And then I'm like, you know what? Mr. 47, he's definitely killed people dressed as a chef, the hitman. So I just found an image of him in a chef costume online, and I must have rendered it about 7 different times, and I feel like the more detail I added, the further I got away from what it was I was trying to do. This was definitely a difficult one, because ostensibly it's quite easy. It's just a guy standing up straight. Just make him look like a stone cold killer. In the end, this is what I settled with, and I kind of airbrushed the background to kind of separate him from the wall and to detract from the fact I really feel like the more detail I added, the worse it got as an image. Really, because the chef whites need to just be quite pristine and stuff, and it's a silly hat, but what are you going to do? That's what chefs wear. So after that, the word was rip. I just thought, I was going to draw Rip Torn, but I'm like, you don't know who he is, and I don't remember a film he was in that was good. So let's not draw Rip Torn. So Vegeta ripping the Death Note, because I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else. So that's what I drew. I referenced Vegeta. I draw Vegeta a lot, but that doesn't mean I typically get a reasonable likeness. So I had I love putting him in his Badman pink shirt. It's probably pretty obvious he's wearing it, even though it's not pink. And he's being a smug arsehole about it. It's just business as usual. So Saturday's word was dig. Went through a few things, liked the idea of can you dig it 70s stuff, so I ended up trying to figure out how to draw Macho Man. There's not a lot of good reference out there for a guy who predominantly was winning in the 1980s, right? So I found an image and I did what I could with it. He's wearing, really wanted to capture the ridiculous, crazy things he wears. He's wearing a cowboy suit that's made entirely of sequins, some crazy shades, and his cowboy hat's got these fucking leather rope bits on it. It's crazy. Too much work, but I feel like it works as an image, and then I had to drop it into Photoshop to get some impact text on there so he could really hammer this point home. And that is the end of this Pecha Kucha. No sad clown of the week. These Inktober things, there's a lot I want to show that I can't because it's 20 slides per 20 seconds. That's all I get. I think it's been another good week. I think next week, the final week, I might switch things up in terms of the amount of time I spend on these pieces. I might not. We will see, but that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 212, and I will see you next time.